Good evening. This is Mulberry Christian News for January 22nd, 2018. And we're glad to have you with us this evening. On the local front, currently on display in the Mulberry Cultural Center, which is next door to City Hall, is the unique collection of Florida artist R.L. Alexander of Celebration, which is near Orlando. It is called Forgotten Fairy Tales. Artists, as other creative people, usually have an area that they specialize or excel in. With Alexander, you can expect to find fairy tales, including castles, moonlit nights, princes and princesses, and even hedgehogs in various settings. Be sure to see this display as it continues in Mulberry until February 23rd. The Mulberry Cultural Center is open the same hours as the Mulberry Frostbite Museum, another local attraction, from Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Evelyn Bryant Cultural Festival is Saturday, February 3rd. The annual Evelyn Bryant Cultural Festival in Mulberry is less than a month away. It is held in conjunction with Black History Month and Diversity Day in Mulberry. The event will be held in the downtown Commons on Saturday, February 3rd. There will be a food court, art show, booths and vendors, kids corner, arts and crafts, quilting, fashion show, and more. The event is sponsored by the concerned citizens of Mulberry. If you need further information, you can contact Julie Taylor, the president, at 435-1223, or Annette Dempsey at 425-4918, or Elliston Smith at 425-3489. To coincide with Mulberry becoming an official Florida city in 1901, the community will hold a Mulberry birthday party on February 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Centennial Park, which is located behind the Mulberry Civic Center in front of the library. There will be a car show, vendors, and other activities. Mulberry City Clerk Sharon Lauder reports that qualifying period for the April 3rd, 2018 city election is February 12th through February 16th. There are 3 city commission seats up for election this year. Commissioner at Large Rick Stratman, Commissioner Jim Splain, and Coach Colin Smith. It's interesting that all 3 incumbents on the Mulberry City Commission, whose term expires this year, all have last names beginning with the letter S. Also likely to be on the April 3rd city ballot will be the proposed charter changes. The Polk County Sheriff's Office invites you to attend a free program presented by highly trained Polk County Sheriff's Office law enforcement professionals in cooperation with several community partners. Learn what the best practices are and how you can make a difference. The training is designed and appropriate for churches, businesses, or individuals to help prepare citizens for a possible active assailant event. It will be held this coming Saturday at the Polk County Sheriff's Operations Center on 1891 Jim Keene Boulevard in Winter Haven. The first session will be from 9 to 11, and the second will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And on January 30th, it will be held at Victory Church at 1401 Griffin Road in Lakeland from 6:30 to 8:30. This training provides an overview of active shooter incidents and best practices about how to prepare for, prevent, and respond to an active shooter at your church, business, or other venue. The run, hide, fight training model will be covered, including tactics and strategies of what to do when law enforcement arrives. And January 25th, this coming Thursday, will be a teen time at the library. They'll have a movie and make your own popcorn. It starts at 2:30 and it's for teens only. The Wounded Warrior Amputee Team versus the Publix Employee Softball Team. It's a free event on Saturday, January 27th. Game time starts at 5 p.m. at the Joker Marchand Stadium. It's the annual Alfalfa River Rendezvous, a week-long encampment that recreates frontier life before 1840. This is its 47th year and is expected to attract as many as 8,000 people during the 2 days that it opens its gates to the public. The group will welcome visitors from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on January 26th and 27th. That's Friday and Saturday this week, when blacksmiths, broom makers, woodworkers, quilters, potters, and others will work their craft and sell their wares using only material and tools that were on site in the 1820s. They opened their new location on 325 acres that they purchased along US 17 and 98 near Homeland. The first encampment was held there in 2000, when about 500 participants turned out. Participation had tripled since then. They use about 120 acres for the pre-1840 area, so they have plenty of room to continue growing. And there is still time for Disney's 3-day resident pass. The Florida Resident Discover Disney Special is a 3-day ticket for $159 plus tax, or a 4-day ticket for $179. That's a 14% increase from the previous January. Tickets are valid for one park only: Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, or Animal Kingdom, per day, unless the tickets are upgraded to park hoppers, which cost an additional $30 plus tax. President Trump declared January 22nd National Sanctity of Human Life Day. Today, the majority of Americans who are pro-life are mourning 45 years of legalized abortion under Roe versus Wade. President Donald Trump today acknowledged those victims of abortion and issued a proclamation designed to spark people to action to put an end to it. And around the world, Turkey intensifies offensive against U.S.-backed Kurds. Turkey has begun a major new offensive in northwestern Syria in a bid to oust Kurdish militia from the area. Iran threatens U.S. Navy ships amid massive war drills. Iranian military leaders claimed Monday that they threatened two American-led vessels in international waters amidst a series of new war drills being carried out by the Islamic Republic, according to regional reports and U.S. military officials who confirmed to the Washington Free Beacon contact with the Iranian vessels. Also, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson today said that U.S. may not be able to fix the flaws in the Iran nuclear agreement in time to meet a White House deadline, a remark that comes shortly before talks on Iran with 3 European countries get underway next week. The Philippines' most active volcano has spewed fountains of lava and massive ash plummeted after authorities warned a violent eruption may be imminent. Palestinian Authority President Mohammed Abbas on Monday called on member states of the European Union to recognize the state of Palestine, saying such a move would encourage Palestinians to maintain hope for peace. The European Union pledged its support Monday for Palestinian Authority Chief Mohammed Abbas' vision of a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. And archaeologists are excavating a newfound cave in Qumran with the hope of finding new Dead Sea Scrolls. Palestinian Christians say U.S. Vice President Mike Pence's brand of evangelical Christianity, with its fervent embrace of modern-day Israel as fulfillment of biblical prophecy, lacks their faith's compassion and justice, including for those who have endured half a century of Israeli occupation. And Israeli scholars have pieced together and deciphered one of 2 previously unread manuscripts of the Dead Sea Scrolls more than half a century after their discovery, according to an Israeli university. And also this evening, the government will reopen on Tuesday after President Trump signed a temporary spending bill that will keep the government open until February 8th. Calling the Trump administration's tax reform plan a middle-class tax increase, 2 California lawmakers introduced a bill that would force large companies to fork over half of their expected savings to the state. And Vermont becomes the first state to legalize marijuana through state legislature. Vermont Governor Phil Scott, the Republican, signed into law a measure allowing the possession of marijuana for recreational use. And over 80 killed in Borno State in Nigeria. The International Christian Concern has learned that more than 80 Christians have been killed in the Benue State, Nigeria, by Fulani militants since January 1st. These attacks have mainly taken place in 2 locations within the state, Logo and Kuma counties. Logo saw more than 50 deaths in just the first week of the new year, while Kuma suffered more than 30. And on the Veterans News, January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. Cervical cancer used to be one of the most common causes of death for women in the United States.